Yeah, very good morning. So this is the fifth class of the success factor. In the last class, we have seen in detail about the proxy management, and now slowly we enter into the success factors. So if you see success factors, so in 2001, from 2001 to till the SAP acquired success factor, we are having data models, that is XML. If any configuration is to be done, we need to do that configuration changes using data models. Okay, so that data model is a XML file, that is nothing but a XML file. So from 2001 to till SAP acquired success factor, we are using data models for configuration, and from SAP acquired success factor from 2012-13 till today, we are having alternative for data models, that is we are having MDF. That means no data models, we can do configuration through MDF. Okay, alternative to MDF. In SAP, for implementation, we have similar to MDF in success factor. In SAP, we have implementation guide. Okay, so that is a basic introduction about journey of success factor, and even we have other alternative for other data models as well. For succession data model, we have configure business rules as well. So we will discuss later in the coming classes. So coming to environment, success factor environment, it is two types basically. So one is a sales demo, and other is a production environment. In real time, we call it as a PRD. PRD live. Okay. So sales demo. This environment is only for internal use. That means sales team uses this for a demonstration to customers. So generally, sales team of success factor, they use this kind of environment to explain their customers, to demonstrate the success factor to their customers. And other is a real-time live environment, that is a production environment. So both instances and the provisioning URLs are connected to 4th or 8th DCs. Okay, so DC is nothing but the data centers. So all our data, all our instances, or all our data is having a secured space in the data centers. So these instances and provisioning are connected to 4th and 8th DCs. Okay, and all instances are mapped to the provisioning. That is one thing. And in success factors, all formats should be saved as .csv file. So this is similar to Excel file. Okay, and the full form of this is comma separated by volumes. So all the files, whatever you are uploading or downloading, data models or user data files, user directory files, all these should be saved as .csv format. Okay, and then slowly we shall enter into the data models. So here we have seen in the initial, we have seen that through data models configuration is done. We have discussed that. So we shall see some more in detail what is data model and all. So this is nothing but a template. Data model is nothing but a template, that is a predefined content. Template is nothing but a predefined content, and it is designed by the XML language. So this template, which is a predefined content, so that is in the form of a code which is written in the XML language. Clear? And these data models we have to download in the provisioning. But before we have to download these data models from the provisioning. So we will be certified consultants will have the provisioning account access. From there we have to download that, and before modifying we have to take the backup of these data models. Okay, so the original standard templates, standard data models, we have to take the backup. In real time, generally, these data models are stored in the SharePoint portal. SharePoint portal. So after taking the backup, we can modify or we can configure as per the customer requirements. And this XML data model can be opened by XML pad. So similarly, in order to open audio file, mp3 file, we should have some other software to open that, right? So just like that, this to open this XML data model, you required in your system, desktop or laptop, you require this XML pad. So this XML pad supports only Windows, but you can see the advantage of this XML pad is that you can see the complete data model summary in a tabular format. So apart from this XML pad, you can also open this XML data model using this Notepad++ or Oxygen. Notepad++ or Oxygen. So this download, while configuring, you have to download this data model and this DTD, that is document type definition, which acts as a guide in configuring the data model. So both these files you have to save in one folder on the desktop, so then only it can guide you what is permissible and what is not permissible. Okay, so if you talk about this XML briefly, so this XML is nothing but this is an extensible markup language, and this is designed to describe data, so both software and hardware. The code is in the form of software and the file is hardware. So this is an independent tool for carrying the information, and the flexible language. In the XML tree, subchild is the last element, and within the child we can have one more subchild. Standard XML, so that means these data models what we are talking about, standard XML data models is already available in the provisioning. You have to download this, as discussed earlier. Download this, you have to understand the customer requirement, then modify. How we have to modify? Using the XML editor. And open the source software. So this XML editor you can download, this is open source software, you can download in the Google by typing in the XML pad. Okay, so you can take the help of this DTD. This is nothing but a document type definition. This acts as a guide which directs you what is permissible and what is not permissible in the XML. While you are configuring, even if you miss something, even if you do some mistakes while configuring, this DTD file helps you where is the mistake and where is the error, and what is the permissible and what is not permissible. This will guide you, and these DTDs are available in the partner portal company. Okay, so that's the basic about the data models and this XML. So now we see the provisioning. So basically, for implementing the SuccessFactor application, we have two systems, that is provisioning system and the instance system. So we shall discuss what is provisioning and what is instance. So provisioning is nothing but the backend of the SuccessFactor. That means backend part of the SuccessFactor. So where it is just like the remote control to play with the instances. Okay, so what the instances can do, and what the scope of the instances, to what exactly the instances can perform, can do, and what cannot instance can do, what instance can and what instance cannot, that is controlled by this provisioning. As per the provisioning settings only we can do something with the instance. Okay, and there is no configuration done in the provisioning. All the configuration part is done in the instance only. So, and one more thing is that we can create the super admin in the provisioning. So we'll have the supreme access in the instances, In general, 3 to 5 super admins are created in the provisioning. So this is one thing we can do in the provisioning, creating the super admin. And the other thing is that enable and disable the applications. Enable and disable the applications, that nothing but the modules based on the licenses that customer has been purchased. And enable the language packs based on the licensing. This is also, so these are all things are done in the provisioning. So at the same time, one more thing, important point is that we cannot open this provisioning and instance in the one browser. So at the same time, you cannot access the instance and provisioning in one browser. So you have to use Google for provisioning or Mozilla for instance, or either way. But at the same time, you cannot open this both provisioning and instance access in the same browser. Okay. And one more thing, you can do the background job schedules in the provisioning. So you can do the background job schedules in the provisioning to update the data automatically. So job schedules is nothing but that to update the data automatically, or to run some activity or some application in the background automatically. So we will be setting some time, and then the automatically as per the instruction, that job schedule will be running in the back end. So generally during the night times, when most of the users are not using the system, so this process can be done. So that is the reason this job schedules have been created in the provisioning. So during third party system integration also, provisioning, using provisioning, this can be done. Admin and end users will not have access to provisioning system. XML data models uploading and downloading is done in the provisioning. So this admin and end users will not have access to the provisioning system. Only the consultants will have the access to the provisioning system, and that too, these consultants should be certified consultants, and that too, they should be approved by the customer. Then only one can get the provisioning access. So that is about a brief of provisioning, and then we shall see the instance. So instance is nothing but the front end of the SuccessFactors, where the customer facing view of the SuccessFactor platform. So this is a place where SuccessFactor consultant, SuccessFactor admin, and the SuccessFactor end users, that means employees and manager, can access these applications. So that is about the instance, and each instance will have a unique company ID, that is nothing but a username and the password. Then only using this company ID and the password, you can log into the instance and you can do the configuration. So it has the action search, and so where you can search for application or people in the instance. The SuccessFactor consultant can configure following setting in the instance. So basically all the instances required as per the customer requirement, which are discussed during the implementation. So these configuration can be, these are some of the configurations done using the instances. So generic objects and custom objects creation is done in the instance. Custom objects, custom business rules configuration is done in the instance. Templates customization is done in the instance. Analytics, dashboards customization, and testing of various applications is done in the instance. So these are the few configuration that can be done in the instance. So that is a brief about instance, and this is the front end basically. And provisioning we have seen in detail, and we have seen what is DTD, and we have seen brief about XML and data models and the SuccessFactor journey and the environments. So that's all about today's class. So we shall see some more topics in the next class. See you. Bye bye. Take care.